Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harv's World, where we are back in the Yukon. What do we got here? We have got Andrew Baxter, Skip Shifter, and Juicy. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Harv's World and the Yukon River Valley. So, as you can see, we've got some really big fields with a whole lot of crops in them, and we made a mistake. So, the three of us, and Sharko and Caveman are with me again today. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
We made a mistake. So, not one of us has used precision farming before, trying to sort it out, getting these fields planted. Well, we did okay on our canola. We've got our pH perfect, we've got our nitrogen perfect. All is well. However, however, we did not do so good on our sunflowers. It's telling me the nitrogen is bad. It's bad, okay? And what happened here is that we fertilized before we planted. At least our best guess is we fertilized the ground before we planted these things. And I've got a truck rolling through, guys.
Was it here?
It's here already.
I was say, yeah, that should be the demo coming in.
Oh, outstanding. But
Get this last bit of pay dirt done.
um, we learned our lesson the hard way. We've got bad nitrogen on our sunflowers, and that's because we should have planted first and then fertilized after. Lesson learned, we'll know next time. But we are looking for those crops to come in because, frankly, we're starting to run a little bit low on diesel. And the reason being, we have been working our proverbial butts off at the mine. We have been cranking through stuff over here. Um, for those of you who missed it, we did get our first pan of gold. It did come out of the gold mine on Saturday's stream, and that has been shipped off to our investors. So they are halfway paid off with that one pan of gold. And on Saturday's stream, we actually had someone recommend. Is this thing ever going to stop? We actually had somebody recommend contacting some people and seeing if we couldn't, in some way, shape, or form, work out a deal where we could test some equipment for them in return for us being able to use the equipment in our gold mine. And apparently that delivery has come in. I see what he was doing. He was just turning around. Now, as far as the gold mine goes, let me get that pop-up box off my screen. You can see we have been moving some dirt. We have been moving some pay dirt in a serious way. We've got multiple methods of loading at this point, and we've probably moved 3 or 4 million liters of this dirt now, and we have got some serious concentrate building up. And we're going to keep moving some dirt this morning with a little bit of luck. And I guess I will go and see about getting this excavator off. This is a nice big fat boy. I'm not going to be real graceful about it, I have to tell you.
Well, it's a nice looking one.
Oh, it's bolted down.
Let me talk to the driver real quick.
All right, tell him to release the straps on this thing. Oh, and it's also backwards. I'm actually technically driving in reverse.
Well, we'll get ours out of the way for now.
I'll be happy to switch off with somebody.
He says he'll be back to pick it up in a few days.
All right, we can do that. For some reason, my excavator controls do not like this map. It works fine everywhere else, but getting it to bloody work. Here, I'll just drive it like sideways. That's a little better. Sort of ish.
I can take over.
Oh, please, by all means. So it looks like Skip Shifter is buying a house. Wow, outstanding.
Oh,
you-
nice.
Very nice. Congratulations, man. That's a
Nice.
big deal. Hey, Newall, how you doing, man? Good to have you here.
It's a very long arm.
That is a really long arm.
Could actually be very useful.
The long arm of the Sharko. Let's see if I
So as
can.
long as you pay for gas, is that how this deal is working out?
Yeah, we have to fuel it and keep it maintained and stuff, but.
And if we break it, we buy it.
Let's not break it.
Yeah, let's not tip it off the edge of the pay dirt, for example.
I don't need to with this long arm.
That's true.
Um,
Well, you're still oh, what am I thinking here? Yeah, you're loading from below now, right? We're not going up to the top of the pile anymore.
nope, doesn't make sense.
Now, we did buy a few more conveyors used. Because what we were finding, but with that new loader, I don't know, we might end up buying that thing if it works out well. We were finding that we have 2 trucks running pay dirt, but our little loader just wasn't loading fast enough, so we needed an alternative loading method. We've got that set up and working now. Plus, if other people are busy elsewhere, that helps. It doesn't limit us to all of us having to be here at the same time, which makes things work out quite nicely, I have to add. This thing was running so well the other day, and today, not so much. It doesn't like climbing the pay dirt hill anymore.
Well, the controls are a lot nice on this.
Does it need maintenance?
Living vicariously. It's not in great shape, but it's not horrible. I mean, it's down about 25%.
If I need to maintain it, just let me know. I'll bring a truck over there and take care of it.
Well, I'm gonna go to driver mode here pretty shortly. We need to keep an eye on those crops today, because we got to get more diesel cranking out.
Mm-hmm. This long boom's actually going to help a lot.
Not for a couple days at least, right? That's all
Oh, we have enough diesel.
Huh?
Hmm?
Well, we've only got that thing for a couple days to test it out,
Yep.
as a trial.
Well, we've been running enough. Hopefully the gold comes in. We should be able to buy one of these, or at least come up with something.
Well, as it stands right now, we're going broke.
Mm-hmm.
Go right ahead, Harv. I didn't mean to take your truck from you.
That's all good.
I guess since that's working on that, I'll just go get mine and maintain the dozer real quick.
So I don't know if how many of you picked up on it. I actually can't keep track from one stream to the next, but we have picked up this awesome dump truck that's been making life much easier. I really don't remember what's introduced anymore from one stream to the next. And we used some of the tailings that this thing produces, because God knows we've got more than we can ever use, to build a ramp so that we can load directly into the wash plant.
The ramp was one of the first things done.
Yeah, the ramp's been done for a while.
The dump truck though was last stream.
Okay. I didn't realize it was a crisis, but
No, just letting you know.
we'll just take a look at our wash plant and see where we stand on that.
I was gonna say this excavator runs really fast. I'm actually liking it.
We've got 87,000 liters of concentrate and growing. but we're down to 18,000 liters of diesel, and we're not far from being broke. We are getting very short on cash.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that gold comes in.
Fingers crossed. Alright, I'm coming in for a load.
Okay, had a couple of loose hydraulic lines and a blown out fit on the dozer. That's why it was running slow.
Oh, okay.
Like
Hold on.
nothing to like stop it from running. It was just leaking, getting air in the lines.
Gotcha.
So
Do I need to move out farther from you?
Yeah, you are kind of close.
And I feel like I'm a long man. That is the long arm of the frickin' law there.
Well, it's actually gonna be very useful, I think.
No, it will. I'm just
Look
saying.
how
I'm
far I
like
can
I
reach
felt
out
like
and
I
move.
was a long ways, far from you already, and I wasn't far enough. That's gonna fill up so much faster too. And I feel
just runs a lot
like my
faster.
chat has frozen again. So
It just turns faster. Definitely like this one. Not quite long far enough away. There we go.
that's pretty quick. Oh, something else I should probably fill everybody in on is the fact that there are thunderstorms rolling through my area. So if we, if all of a sudden you lose the stream, there's a pretty darn good chance that all of a sudden power has been lost. Although we will try to let you know through the chat. One of us will. Yeah, only one more shovel and we'll be loaded.
Only being like half the size bigger, or 50% bigger, it looks a lot faster.
That's pretty darn nice, nice piece of equipment there.
And the reach is nice too.
You
Don't have to
won't-
constantly drive.
Yeah, I was going to say you won't have to move around as much. Even though it is 2 miles an hour faster.
No, it's a lot faster.
It runs 8. Oh, the other one runs 3, doesn't it? I thought
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was 6. So I'm 5 miles an hour faster. The long arm of the Sharko. Why is it whenever I say Sharko's name, I expect to hear the music from Jaws?
Dun.
I don't know.
Create my own version of that.
This dump truck is my new favorite thing, though. You guys can have your loaders and shovels and forklifts. I like the dump truck.
Well, I like the excavators. They're my toy.
Excavators and any kind of loading equipment, because you do it so well. Like I'm genuinely impressed by your skill level. And isn't that right, Juicy? My typical luck. I'm gonna schedule a stream. Well, God says I'm gonna schedule a thunderstorm. Ha 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 ha.
The stream shall not go well.
None shall pass. Harv shall not pass. I wish I could see our fields from here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them from. You can almost see them from up top. Almost.
I just really want to know when they turn so we can get to harvesting those things, because we really need to get them in a big
Maybe we
big
should have like a
way.
video camera so we can see from the mines.
There you go. Well, that means we need to hook up power That's going to be your department, Sharko.
I'm sure I can get a single solar panel hooked up.
Agreed, Juicy, agreed. Well,
The hardest part is getting it so it's wireless.
we have the inside track to our energy company, and they've told us we can get discount solar panels through them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Big ones and small ones. Big ones though we have to install, or the small ones we have to install ourselves though, apparently. But that's not hard.
hey, Skip Shifter, no, it does not require different fertilizer. You use the same fertilizer that you use in the base game, um, but it does require tools that have like an auto fertilize function, which will measure out the amount of fertilizer you use. So, for example, we set up our fields, and I'm pretty sure this happened on last stream when we planted those two big new fields. We had to bring in a massive spreader. We leased one from the John Deere dealership. It was really expensive. When we created those fields, we had to lime them first, and we went through 33,000 liters of lime because it was spreading, or spreading so quickly. It was spreading so quickly, it was just eating through it because it's a brand new field. It's never been limed. We cut it right out of the grass. So it automatically adjusted the amount that we needed, and it was just dumping it super fast. Well, it does the same thing with fertilizer. Although, like I said earlier, we did learn an important lesson from that, and you should plant your crops before you fertilize, because your planters and your spreaders will adjust to the amount of fertilizer you use to the type of crop that you have planted. So that's something to keep in mind if you go with precision farming. Plant first, fertilize later, or plant and fertilize at the same time. So effectively, we put too much nitrogen on our sunflowers and burnt our crop a little bit, which means we're not going to get as good a harvest as we normally would have expected. And Gary Robertson, good to have you here, man. Thank you for dropping in. Very much appreciated.
Now we don't know though how much it will affect our yield.
Glad to have you, and hope our goofiness entertains. Although
Yes.
we're kind of work mode at the moment, trying to get some pay dirt out of this pit. And you know, one thing I've discovered is there's no way on this planet we're ever going to move this entire pit.
I'm sure there is eventually.
Eventually. Maybe.
Remember, we're still running basically baby equipment.
Well, that's true. And if our gold mine starts producing,
I've seen some pretty big equipment on online. These massive drills and everything. These look tiny compared to them.
but the important thing to note today is we need this gold mining to start paying off, because if it doesn't, we're
We're
going
in
to go
trouble.
broke.
Like the people who owned the mine before us. I mean, maybe it's not broke, but definitely was not big before we got here.
No worries, Gary. I think most people tend to have streams and videos on in the background while they're doing other things. I know I do. That's how I operate a lot of the time. Unless I'm recording, which is frequent, I don't have as much time to watch as like I used to. Yeah, we're not even going to be able to run our wash plant for much longer, guys, because there's so much of the diesel
Only want to.
we're
I was
blowing
gonna say,
through.
only want to take a look at the crops. So I
Okay.
can get the height.
We could end up with 100,000 liters of concentrate here.
Nope, not ready yet.
In fact, we have got tailings piling up again. That means we're not going to be able to access our 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 concentrate if we don't start getting them out of the way. Man,
Okay.
the tailings are just craziness. Absolute insanity. I think that's going to be like the majority of what we end up doing here is moving tailings. We move as many tailings as we do pay dirt, it feels like. This pile was completely empty when we started today. Completely
That it
empty.
was. I emptied it.
Robert, no, I do not. Nobody has, as far as I can tell. Giants is going to be very, very sneaky about how they release information on the new upcoming version. I think they're really going to do their best to build as much hype as possible, which makes sense from a company standpoint, but it doesn't help us out now, does it? We want to
No, it does
know.
not help us.
Although the one thing that I believe that I saw was a headline somewhere, and it was in either German or Spanish, so I didn't click on it. But I saw a mention of crossplay.
Crossplay is unknown at this point. They are working to try to get crossplay as a thing.
That means so then mods have to be acceptable across platforms.
Well, that's what I
But
was
it's-
about to say. That could be a real double-edged sword.
So yeah, if they do get crossplay working, it's only going to be available for
A console to console kind of thing.
well, it's only going to be available for stuff that's through specific servers. You'll still have the open servers like you do now, but you'll have the crossplay as well. That's what
Yeah.
they're trying to do.
Right, but the limiting factor is that PC players have access to a lot more that console players don't. And so,
Right.
if you want to play with your console friends, you're going to be restricted to only the mods console players have access to. So,
Exactly.
I mean, that's it's a bit of a double-edged sword if you're a PC player. You know, yeah, I can play with my console friends now, but I can't have that super cool Volvo loader anymore.
Well-
I can play with my console friends, but I can't play Yukon River Valley because they don't have access to Yukon River Valley.
Unless they find a way to make it where it's like the map is based on only the person who hosts it. Kind of a thing.
Well, right now, the biggest limiting factor for Giants to get it working is flying with Sony.
Yeah, Sony. Microsoft's pretty lenient when it comes to cross-platform, but Sony is also not very happy.
With Sony, you generally either get mods or cross-platform and not both.
Mhm.
They're trying to get both.
So we're back to the same old situation.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The console makers really, really hold the ball.
They really do. I mean, like, a lot of people might not realize this. Console players lose, or console makers lose money when they sell you a console.
Did we ever get word on our crops, by the way?
Yes, they weren't growing yet when I checked.
Since I've got this lickety-split dump truck at the moment, I'm going to run over there and just take a quick look.
Go ahead.
Bum, bum, ba-da-da. Although, you know,
Ba-da-da.
this map is so huge that my draw distance is absolutely awful. Nope,
It is.
they are not ready yet.
How much diesel do we have left?
Less than 20,000 liters.
Ooh.
We're not even going to have enough diesel to run our equipment pretty soon if we're not careful.
Hey, we'll just siphon it out of things we're not using.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, we have our trucks. If worst case scenario, we have to go down to the. Like, we
The
have a fuel
wash
tank.
plant. The wash plant has 15,927 liters in it.
Yeah, we are. I think you just
Where's
poured
the
that under me.
Okay.
Nah,
The dump bucket.
everybody's chomping at the bit for FS22. What do you guys want to see in FS22 anyway? I mean, what are you really looking forward to? I'm asking the audience if you have a chance to say something. I know some people are working, some people otherwise, but I mean, what are your, well, unless they do this, this, and this, I'm just going to play FS19 and be done with it. So, what do you guys want to see?
I can tell you what I want to see that's not physics based.
What's that?
I'd like to see like a bunch of like with the new crops, like new equipment, but like better descriptive equipment. If that makes sense. Like actually being able to use it, like using a plow in a field, you have to like cultivate it to plant in it.
So a more realistic experience if you
Kind of more equipment, like equipment actually being used. That's what I want. Not necessarily realistic, but like
yeah, but I mean, in order
it is more realistic.
to
Yes.
force equipment to be used means creating a higher level of realism, because normally you wouldn't run a planter or seeder over a freshly plowed field. You would cultivate it and smooth it first. Which is why a lot of the mods people create have cultivators that run right directly behind a plow, which, by the way, we happen to have acquired.
Yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to go pick that up at some point.
Yeah, we need to run down to the John Deere dealership and pick up, well, it's beat up. I mean, Caveman's going to have to work on it before we can use it, but it is
You
a
also don't
plow.
need it right away.
Yeah, it's a plow cultivator combo.
Oh, this thing loads a lot faster.
Realistic seasons. That's interesting. What is your definition of realistic seasons? Like, I don't want to have to play FS19 for 365 full days to to accomplish a year's worth
Well,
of farming.
seasons you can do that.
I know you
I
can.
think, or it was only 30 days.
I think
36
it's
days.
36 days is the longest.
36
Yes.
day seasons. That's still a
Ow.
long time.
Well, actually, one thing I was thinking, if they had seasons, is there going to be like years? Like always, like there always be like winter time, but if you turn off seasons, it just you can play at any time. Or is it going to be like no winter? That's one thing I'm curious about.
I think everybody would agree, Gary, that that a better tutorial system.
Some nice snow contracts would be nice too. Like just built into the game maps.
Well, they've already said that the version of seasons they're incorporating is not going to be like Realismus seasons. It is Realismus.
That can mean anything.
Right? Yeah,
Yes.
they're telling us nothing, but they've already said it's not going to be the same as.
But they hired the
mod.
person who did it though.
I think the person who did it initially was working for them anyway.
And I don't necessarily think, at least maybe not directly, because I've heard a lot of people say, at least in their when they were talking about it on their podcast, they didn't even know seasons existed until one of them just looked at it.
That Giants didn't know seasons existed?
At least Parsis Giants didn't.
Well, then somebody's been asleep at the frickin' wheel.
You got to understand, the people that do the podcasts
Are-
they're literally the hype men for Giants. They're not the ones that do any of the development, any
No, I
of the
understand
programming,
that.
or any of that. So sometimes they don't know anything until
Well-
they know.
Well, I was just saying basically like, well, they said they saw it in Mod Hub is what they said. I was like saying if it was actually Giants that did it, I'm sure they would have known about it.
Hey Frank, hey Philly, how you guys doing, man? I absolutely agree. I think GPS should be a base game option.
I mean, it's in the models.
yeah,
so.
it's in the transmitters and receivers are in the models, and a lot of them. Why is it not an option on equipment? It should be. Actually, Gary, in FS19 there are a couple of mods that will allow you to have more than one contract at a time, but I agree. Apparently in FS17 there was some kind of what do I want to say? You would build up your reputation. You just dump that all on the ground. You could build your reputation. I don't know how that system works specifically. Maybe one of you guys do, but I agree. I think a reputation.
You want to go dump that? Just so then I can.
I wasn't full.
Oh, it looked like you're full on my end.
Well, I mean, I'm less than 1,000 liters from full, so I'll just get out of your way. But yeah, I think a reputation system like that would be cool. The more you work for a particular farmer or group of farmers or whatever, you either get, receive better pay or.
I'd say more detail is something I'd like to see.
Philly. I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world. I can tell you my favorite NFL team, though. It's the Colts. But I don't think it's any secret at this point. I'm from Indiana and have been around long enough to remember them moving in. But definitely the Colts. Good or bad, rain or shine, and God knows for the first 15 years they weren't much to watch. Once Peyton Manning joined the show, things turned around, but up until then, wasn't much going on with the Colts.
Yeah, I'd love to see more detail in the game, like with the maps, I mean.
Depends on what you mean by detail.
Like map detail, like. Can you come a little closer, Harv?
Oh, now I'm too far away. Get farther away. Now you're too far away.
Well, closer I can deal with, but.
Too far, you only have so much reach.
Well, it's not the reach that's really the issue. It's the dirt on the hill. At the speed I can dig it. So there's like an optimal distance.
Oh God, guys, we've got over 100,000 liters of concentrate.
Ooh.
Wow.
And we're
Maybe you should start moving that.
We're down to 14,000 liters of diesel over there. Oh, Gary's another Canadian who's joined the Harv's World crew. I didn't realize you were from Canada. You're in good company, Gary, because we have a lot of Canadians in our Discord. So, Sharko being one of them.
Yep.
Yes, I am Canadian. Proud Canadian.
I'm Canadian, eh?
Well, how's it going, eh? Oh, I'm able to start up great, eh?
You're actually doing a nice job of emptying that area around you, Sharko. It's really starting to empty out.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Looks like we need to get the bulldozer working over by the conveyors again, though.
I found the
I'll
optimal
push
way.
some more dirt over by the conveyors after I get done moving this tailings.
Found an optimal way to control this excavator.
Oh yeah,
You went out and bought 2 joysticks?
No, actually, I'm still using my broken joystick.
No, I knew who you were, Gary. That's why I was specifically talking about Discord. I was like, "Yep, you're in good company in Discord," because there's several Canadians in there. Pep is Canadian. Lifehawk's Canadian. Frank is apparently practically Canadian. He lives in Michigan. He's closer than I am, anyway.
I only live a half an hour from the borders.
Now well, depending on where you live in Michigan, Frank, you could actually be pretty close to Sharko. He's not that far from the U.S. border.
It's true, I'm not.
Somebody want to fly over and check our crops again?
I mean, walk.
You know what I mean. It's a figure of speech.
I think he was referring to fly as in the speed that you're actually going. To somebody with a fast vehicle.
But looking over the ledge, it's they're not growing. Looking over the ledge at the pit.
I'll run over there and pick up real quick.
I just flew over there.
Oh, that's a beautiful area, Gary. I'm actually a little bit envious of you. BC, man, I love Vancouver. It's just such a beautiful
Vancouver is
city.
nice. I've never been to Vancouver, but my uncle lives there.
Oh, and let's see, Skip Shifter just moved to Kalamazoo. So a couple Michiganites in today. All
Kalamazoo.
machines and tools from Joskin are on sale right now.
Ooh.
Anything good we can have them deliver to us? I don't know. It's just Joskin.
I was gonna say we don't really have much money to be just spending.
I don't know.
If you need an excavator driver, let me know.
Hey Marquez. Well, I'm good to have you anyway, man. A few minutes.
I work
That's
for
cool with
food.
me, but I appreciate you coming in, buddy.
I work for food.
Yeah, we all work for food.
It's actually pretty fair.
Crops are not quite ready yet.
I think your name might have been a dead giveaway on that, Philly. That you live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's beautiful country too, though. Great little farming communities in Pennsylvania. Although if you're from Philadelphia, you're probably more of a big city boy. Although I don't want to stereotype anybody. Somebody told me that it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Is that true? Oh, come on. You guys have never heard of this?
I have.
It's probably one of the most ridiculous TV shows I've ever watched in my life.
In Canada, just wait 10 minutes, the weather will change.
That sounds about like Florida. You wait 5 minutes and the weather will change.
I think there could be snowing 1 minute, you put your clothes on, you're out tanning.
I have lived in many places around the U.S. I have been to almost every state in the continental U.S. And you know what the one universal truth is?
What's that?
No matter where you go, no matter who you talk to, each and every person will say, give it 5 minutes and the weather will change around here. It's practically a cliche. Doesn't matter where you live, they're like, oh, I know you've heard this before, but give it 5 minutes around here and the weather will change. Everywhere you go. They'll say it in Hawaii, I promise you.
I was gonna say, like in Europe, it's always raining.
Yeah, but give it 5 minutes, the weather will change.
It's true, but
Yeah,
I
it'll
mean,
go from rain to fog.
Anytime somebody mentions the weather to me from now on, it's just my standard response is going to be, give it 5 minutes, it'll change.
how much was this excavator again? Because I think this is definitely something we should invest in.
It's like $250,000.
Well, that's terrible. I mean, definitely nothing that we can afford right now, but maybe after we sell all the gold.
And let's see, Robert asked if we were going to do any kind of dairy farming, and because milk makes good money. Milk does make very good money, and at some point, I think we are. Well, we've got our chickens working. At least they'll feed us breakfast. But I don't know that we've discussed much in the way of other animals. It's definitely not out of the question, though.
Definitely not.
And that's, I've actually seen this, and this was like in flat, boring Indiana. But we were driving down the road one time, and there was a wall in front of us. We were in the sunny part, and there was a wall of rain in front of us, and we just drove through this wall, and all of a sudden, we're in completely different weather. It was one of the trippiest things I've ever seen. But yeah, that microclimate business, I totally understand. Hey, Rusty, how's it going, man? They keeping you busy? Are they ever not keeping you busy?
In Canada, it's probably one of the only places where you can probably be out tanning, and then like 5 minutes later, there's a foot of snow on the ground. I mean, not 5 minutes later, but definitely an hour later, you have about a foot of snow on the ground.
I'm gonna go
It's
tan
happened.
and pick up my skis.
That is actually I've seen that happen before. Where people are out. I know my sister usually tans on the roof, and she was out there, went inside for about an hour or two, went back outside. She had to shovel off the roof because of the snow on it.
Why
And I'm not
she
joking.
still wanted to tan? Why is she shoveling the roof?
Because that one part of the roof is very shallow, and if it's not shallow, it will put a lot of weight on the roof.
Right.
It won't just melt off. So just for safety, basically, you just shovel it off.
Hey, William, welcome to Harv's World. How's it going, man?
You should. I'm really taking into this dirt.
How are we doing for tailings?
I just moved all the tailings out of the way.
Oh, very cool.
Out here you can swim in the ocean in the morning and ski in the afternoon.
I can
That
believe
does
that.
sound lovely. I mean, Vancouver is on the coast, so it doesn't get as cold as it does in the rest of the part.
I mean, great day. You can go swimming at the beach in California and drive like
An
2
hour.
hours and
It's true, you
go
can.
skiing.
That is very true.
Yeah, in LA there's
I'd
the coast, and then there's, or around the LA Valley, I should say, the coast, and then you can drive up to Big Bear, which is just about 2 hours away.
I'd actually wouldn't mind that. Being able to go really skiing. I shouldn't say any time, but majority of the time. And be able to swim majority of the time.
You want to know what's funny? If I wanted to, I could go skiing or snowboarding today and only have to drive about an hour.
Really?
Yep.
Do you know how far I have to drive?
How far?
Um, what's the temperature today? Okay, I had to drive about 18 hours.
I'm sitting
Like,
at 90 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm at right now. I can drive an hour and go skiing or snowboarding.
mostly 'cause it's all flat near me. So, the closest mountains, or closest hill that, like, basically... I mean, I guess I could go 5 hours north, but there's really no roads up there, so I'd have to go by plane.
That's a good question, Phil. I think we should start moving concentrate, guys. I think we've got enough pay dirt
Mm-hmm.
moved. We need to start
That's
moving the
fair.
concentrate over, and then come back over to the farm and hopefully have some crops to bloody harvest. I don't know how much money we're gonna make from the gold. We've had one pan so far. That's all we've had, and that pan would have been worth at the time about $150,000. But that had to go to our investors. So I'm hoping, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a long drive to work, Rusty. That's a really long drive to work.
Oh,
No, you're fine.
sorry, there you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you can do it.
I need to look and see. Concentrate. I can spawn six. Oh, six must be the max at a time. Because we've got more than 6 pallets. We've got 11 pallets.
Wow.
Absolutely, Gary. Logging is actually a very, very profitable industry in FS19. Very
Very.
profitable. Things are going about as well as can be expected on this side of the world, Rusty. Since you asked earlier, I wasn't ignoring you, just
I'm gonna try and clear up this big pile a little bit.
but, you know, we're just dealing with the same old crap everybody else is, COVID and well, there's only one problem with that there. You're going to be remarkably in the way.
Like I can move then.
Oh, I see. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, Rusty, because you are one seriously well-traveled dude. Can I drag 2 of these at a time? I know they weigh a metric ton. More than a metric ton. But still, if I can at least push them around, this will not be quite so tedious. This concentrate is very, very heavy, guys. In fact, I'm pretty sure... I know I can't pick this up.
Oh.
Nope.
No.
But at least I can shove it.
Now we have two tailings.
Did we lose our caveman?
No, you didn't lose me.
The gold mine or the gold processor's not accepting this concentrate for some reason.
Let me play with it, see what I can get.
I think the pallets might be somehow connected because of the big bag lifter.
Apparently the dump truck can be used as a fertilizer sprayer.
That's interesting. Does it have to have like a...
It just
There,
says
now they
deactivate
now they
automatic.
separate. Oh, deactivate automatic.
Application rate.
There they go.
Yeah, there is a spreader box you can get to go on the back of the dump truck.
Ah. So it's just it's already programmed into this.
Oh, we might have to take advantage of that.
Load up the dump truck and just go flying down the field.
Do the concentrate have to be off the ground? Is that why it's not
Yes.
taking them? Oh,
Yes.
I see.
Do you want to go back to loading, or you want me to do it?
I'll do it. Oh, somebody spawned the rest of them apparently.
Yes.
Log concentrate.
That's a lot of concentrate. I hope we get some good gold out of this.
I hope so too. I mean, I can see gold flakes in it, so hopefully. How much diesel do we have for this generator over here?
When do you guys mind checking the crops again? Yes, I'm very worried about our crops.
No, you're worried about running out of diesel.
I am. That's why I'm worried about our crops.
I'll run over and check on the crops again.
They should be ready very soon, if they're not.
Now it's working.
$7,000 liters of gold.
No, we don't.
Looks like it.
We don't have anywhere near that amount.
Hmm?
No,
Yep.
we don't.
Time to harvest, guys.
Oh, thank God. All right, you guys go work on the started on the harvest if you would be kind enough. I will finish getting this concentrate in there, and I will be over to help in just a minute.
I just realized that we don't have a spot to put all the grain once you start growing other crops. I want to think about that.
I'm gonna try to force the issue, and it's not gonna work.
The flowers first, then caveman.
Yeah, go ahead and grab that other,
Grain cart.
yeah, go ahead and grab grain cart.
You guys
Oh,
love
strawberry
FS19
work.
physics as much as I do, and trying to move pallets and logs.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, yeah. When I said you guys, I was talking to everybody but you, because we know how skilled you are at it.
Parentheses or quotation marks on the love.
Oh, that was sarcasm?
Yes.
I actually was under the impression you kind of did for that very reason.
No, I don't like the physics. I know how to manipulate the physics. I don't like the physics.
Understood.
Big difference. Maybe a little forward a bit more. That's not gonna work the way I want it to.
Rusty
No,
would like to
there's-
know if you got your PC and desk all set up, Sharko.
Not quite yet. I am on my PC or my desktop though. Not on my laptop anymore, but not quite fully set up. I actually had an issue with my computer, or not an issue, but a problem I ran into. Which I'll have to fix at some point, but
That is an excellent point, Robert.
ooh, better game save system, yes.
Because anything with forks on it, Gary, due to FS19 physics, are awful. Quite literally, the piece of equipment I'm using right now, this is called the Big Bag Lifter. It's part of the CSZ pack or CSZ pack, depending on what part of the world you're from, is the best method of moving pallets.
The forks don't work. Like as soon as you pick it up, you try and unload it, it won't come off your forks, or you picking them up doesn't work all the time. And
Yeah, you can't get your forks in, you can't get it to come off your forks. A lot of times when you're moving it on the forks, it will wiggle itself off and just fall to the ground. Fork physics are absolutely atrocious. If you if you see people playing a lot of times, probably I would say 7 or 8 times out of 10, if they're moving pallets like this, they're going to be using this or something similar. Okay, there we go. All of our concentrates in. Now we just need to let our gold plant start cranking through it. We're going to go get these fields harvested, get our diesel cooking, and then hopefully, with a little bit of luck, with a
won't
little
drive
bit of
over our
luck,
crop.
we will
Yeah,
have
we don't
some
want you to
gold
drive
coming
over it.
in.
I hope so. I mean, the soil they tested was good, so hopefully we get a lot. And the first batch was also really good too. So
What, on the diesel, you mean?
no, the first gold pan
Oh yeah.
that we got quite a bit off there. So hopefully, if the rest of the dirt's the same,
Yeah, I'll keep our fingers crossed. It's going to be cranking through a lot of it. What do we have? 11 pallets, 110,000 liters of concentrate.
Mhm.
Something like that.
That's a very true fact, Rusty. It is the the big bag lifter is pretty aggressive. So it's not like you. Yeah, he's right. If you've got a stack of pallets, picking one of them off can be really, really tricky. Or like if you've got two of them close together and you want to pick just one up off the ground, you actually end up picking it up from way too far away. Hey Mouse, how you
sometimes
doing,
we need
man?
it.
How's it going?
It's gonna take a very long time with this harvester.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be here a while.
I'm headed over to see how you guys are doing.
Well, we're just about to complete the first headland around the sunflower field.
That whole time I'm loading concentrate and you've only got through one headland.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sharko, you're on a first name basis with that guy across the road now, right?
Yep.
What do you think? Is there any chance if you went over and talked to him, see if he's got something we could borrow to help us out? And then,
Yep.
tell him we'll trade work for it or something. If you want to
Yep.
take the white and I'll hang out with the yeah.
You know, I might walk. Maybe if he has something, I can drive it back. It's not that far of a walk.
No, that's a good idea. But yeah, just tell him we'll harvest a field for him, or we can come over and fertilize or seed or something, whatever. But
Will
yes,
do.
our little harvester here is not going to get. Oh, nice, nice, Mouse. Role play on Spectacle Island. I haven't even had a chance to look at that map yet. I haven't been busier than the proverbial one-legged man, let me tell you. Why am I running so much faster than you?
Because this thing can't make up its mind between 4 and 6.
And for some reason, I can't change. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Say if you want, you can wait and I can let you know when I'm getting pretty full. And then you can empty, pull alongside to empty if you want.
Well, I just talked to the guy. He's letting us use his
Rusty.
Talk to the guy. He's letting us use his big harvester.
Oh yeah? How big?
I'd say it's pretty big. You'll see it in a bit. I'm driving it over now.
Oh, excellent.
He said though, he doesn't have anything to drop it for us right now, but when he does, he'll call us or
All right.
contact me.
Oh, very cool. Gary, no, it's not that realistic. I could run 100 miles an hour and hit a tree, and no damage will be done. No tractors were harmed in the making of this video game.
The only way to wear down your tractor is by driving it.
And even then, I mean, it
Obsolete.
will affect its performance, but getting it fixed is just basically the click of a button and paying a little bit of cash.
I'm here. He also has both equipments for both our
That is a monster
uh-huh.
compared to what we've got.
Holy crap, dude. Alright, I'm going to trade out with you. Man, this little track, I don't know how much longer this little tractor's going to have. It does not even want to pull this trailer. Like, the squirreliness factor on it is pretty bad. It needs more weight in the front or something. You might want to switch out for the white. Here you go, Sharko.
I actually don't mind this tractor.
At slow speeds, it's fine. Get it over 10 miles an hour, and it starts just fishtailing like crazy with that trailer on the back of it.
You want to put your pipe out?
Not yet. And just back,
doing
hang on
caveman
for a
for-
second.
Probably do this. We'll let you know when we're getting close to full and you come empty, whichever one's full.
That's fair.
Well, I was just going to set up GPS, so
Oh. So as long as we return it and fill it with fuel before we leave, he'll give us a call. Don't know how happy he'd be though if we return it broken.
I mean, fixing it's not a big issue.
No.
yeah, Caveman's all over that. He's on it like a car bonnet.
Get back up in this thing.
And yes, I realize I'm not on a great line, but I will be when I come back. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense, Harv.
These dualies on this thing make it really hard with the small harvester.
Go switch it out for the white.
The white has wider tires.
Go switch it out for your pickup then.
Okay, I'll do. I can do that. I can do that.
Alright, I am GPSing this end of the field. Or this edge of the field, I should say.
That's a big harvester.
That is a big harvester.
Don't want to know what one of those costs.
No, but we'd be here for a month trying to harvest these fields with our little one.
Definitely need a bigger one.
Oh, gotta have money to upgrade.
Well, hopefully that gold brings money in.
I hope we
It's
get.
nice of him to let us use his.
Yeah, it is. I hope we get some gold.
I mean, we're not doing it necessarily for free. He wants us to do work, but
That doesn't matter. I mean, it's a fair trade. That's what neighbors do.
How are you doing for crop there, Harv?
24%.
Wow.
I have and do still pick up the occasional Dagger one episode. Not all the time, but sometimes. Oh, I couldn't agree more, Robert. In fact, you know, on this map there is a whiskey factory. Maybe we need to get the whiskey factory working for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty much empty now anyway, Sharko.
Hey, Drippy D.
Yeah.
Good day to you too, man. Good to have you here.
Pickup truck doesn't like slowing down with this thing.
Well, again, I can't keep anything straight from one stream to another, but so we harvested these fields to get diesel working, and you know, we were going to merge a couple of our little tiny fields and then expand another one, and I think Caveman was like playing on his phone as much as he was driving, and then we ended up with these massive fields. So we went with it. That is exactly.
No, I just kind of fell asleep behind the wheel.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
How the truth came out.
as much diesel as we're gonna need, um, it's quite all right. Oops.
We're gonna burn through more diesel, harvesting this field. I mean, we're gonna make it.
That is exactly correct, Gary. You just have to set up your width and tell it what direction you want it to run, and it will take you right down the green line. Turn it on, turn on GPS, and the green marker is the line you're traveling down. You can kind of see where it's set right in the middle there.
This is actually quite full. I'm gonna go and dump it. Actually,
But
no, I'm gonna build it.
the other nice thing that it does is it will tell me exactly where to turn around at so that I maximize the width of my equipment. As you can see, it is running me right down the edge of this crop. GPS is a mod that I could not live without.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can live without it. I know how to play the game without using GPS, but I use it probably more than anything else.
Wait, really?
2016 case 9240 harvester with the 1700 engine hours for around $250,000.
New or used? Because if that's new, that's actually way lower
It's
than I thought it was.
2016.
You can still buy like a brand new vehicle that's still a 2016 vehicle.
1,700 engine hours. That means it's
Oh.
used.
Oh, engine hours. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, sorry. I thought that was the horsepower of it.
Nope, engine
Okay.
hours.
So they're expensive.
I think that's the point he was trying to make was
Well, they're not cheap.
No, I was saying like if that was brand new, that's actually pretty good. That ain't
I'm
new.
completely empty, Sharko, but you can follow me if you want to.
I'm sliding. My front wheels have like no traction.
I know, there's something about that trailer. It really puts a lot of weight on the back end of you. Poor Rusty.
And sharks aren't very smart.
And we're just gonna keep these in a continual rotation of sunflowers and canola, right, guys?
I think that's the best way to do it.
I think this time we probably need to put canola in this field and sunflowers in the other field.
Yes, because I actually, yeah.
Because we do need to rotate crops.
Precision farming, I think, likes
Right.
that better.
No, I agree. Skip shifter. The best thing I can tell you to do is go to my YouTube channel, which of course you're on right now. I do have a tutorial, a very brief tutorial on GPS and how to set it up. I personally think it's a very good tutorial, and it will get you started with the basics of GPS very, very quickly, including the AB setup.
Oh, I figured out what the thing is with this trailer.
What is it?
The ball hitch is really loose. It's just jiggling.
It's got a loose ball hitch on it.
I know what Sharko's problem with that trailer is.
It's not just my problem.
Hit the Y button on your keyboard, Sharko.
That helps a lot.
Oh, you bet, bud.
I locked the ball hitch. It worked.
I just released a new tutorial today on it's part 1 of a 3-part series on global company. And
That helped a lot.
the reason I actually mention that right now is just because of Skip Shifter and his request, but I do take requests for tutorials, so if you ever have something you want to see, if I haven't done it already, let me know and I will be happy to knock one out for you. I can never have too many tutorials, and I've got some that are in the works myself, but that doesn't mean you know, if I get a request, it might move them up the list of things that I need to get done.
pull on this case is massive.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best part of this case is how long the bloody pipe is.
Probably have like 2 harvesters beside each other and dump into each other.
All right, I
Almost.
get done with this row. I'm gonna swap out heads and start working on canola.
I was gonna say also, I think this thing is almost full. Like this trailer.
It looks pretty full. And how much does that hold?
Around 30,000 liters.
So that means we'll effectively get 60,000 liters of diesel-ish.
Wow.
If we get an equivalent amount of canola. It's a percentage. I think it's like 60% canola, 40%.
Sunflowers or something like that, yeah.
I absolutely positively do know how to rent and lease fields on Global Company, Philly. If you're asking, that is actually going to be in part 2.
Yeah,
If you're asking for information about it, that's actually going to be in part 2 of my Global Company tutorials coming out tomorrow. Or it should come out tomorrow. The field leasing option is a Global Company add-on. It's actually pretty darn convenient because, you know, you can actually buy your fields directly from that mod also.
Oh, really? I never knew that.
Yep. I'm not going to say it's the best financial option in the game, but it does give you more field space when you don't quite have the money to be able to purchase a new field. You can lease one, but it's still, I think it's 20% of the cost.
Sunflower seeds are going into the factory.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. Now, I've seen some tutorials on Global Company, and I'll tell you guys, my tutorial, I am not getting into every fart and wrinkle of every Global Company mod. There are way too many. If somebody wants to see a specific one, I'll be happy to do it. But what I have tried to do is show you, as newer players or players who haven't used Global Company yet, how to decipher the Global Company mods on your own. And I've shown you what to look for and how to put it all together. So that's going to be part 3, the Global Company Productions part of my tutorial. How to look at a Global Company mod and sort it out for yourself, kind of thing. Which I felt, you know, teaching that was far more important than trying to do a video on every Global Company mod. Because what are there now, 30 or 40, maybe more?
Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats forever.
That's an excellent point. Now, there are some much more complicated Global Company mods. And I mentioned this in my video. Honey production is one of them. There's 2 different honey production mods. One of them is pretty straightforward. The other one has a whole bunch of different equipment. It's got a whole step-by-step process you have to go through. It's a lot of fiddling with little pieces and parts. It is interesting and it is well done, and I've played with it just enough to know, but yeah, it literally just came out a couple hours ago, Philly, so I'm going to slow time down just a little bit because we're getting late in the day and I don't want to lose the light. Rusty. No, you know, Rusty, there should be, though. By God, there should be a Global Company fishing mod. You know, why can't we take an afternoon off from farming and go grab a fishing pole and do a little fishing?
That'd be awesome. Maybe the new game should add fishing. 2022 fishing.
Although I get, you know, if they started incorporating everything, then it wouldn't be Farming Sim anymore. It would be Farming Sim Plus.
Well, you're still farming for fish.
We're not talking about fish farming. We're talking about grabbing a pole and just
Yeah.
There are a few
It's like-
maps that have incorporated fish farming, though.
If they incorporated fish farming in the base game, but then gave you the option to go fish as like a way to stock your pond initially or something.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got 33,000 liters off that field.
Very nice indeed. I haven't even finished the headland on this, and I've already got 8,700 liters of canola.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a good thing we're going to rotate these.
Well, I think it's better for the ground too to rotate them.
It is.
But we do have a lot of
Hope we
new
don't have
players,
rookies.
guys, so let's not confuse them. In base game farm sim, you do not have to rotate your crops. You can plant the same crop over and over and over again, and it will not affect anything.
Correct.
We are doing some light role play during this playthrough, so you know, some of what we say is going to just be based on storyline. Now, there are aspects of farm sim that will require you to rotate your crops, that being seasons, if you
Precision
choose to
farming
play
also
the
does too.
seasons mod.
Precision farming does actually do that too.
Oh,
Not as bad those seasons, but it does actually matter for the ground.
that's actually an interesting point, Philly. I kind of like that idea. You start incorporating farmer moods, like you're hungry, you need to go find something to eat. But if you're
That'd be
hungry,
awesome,
if you're hungry and
but
you
very
haven't
annoying.
fed yourself, then you know your skills start to diminish,
That'd be very annoying as it would be awesome.
right? Maybe that's maybe that's something that you do that. Or
I'd be
that
screwed
they
in some of my
include is that
worlds.
you have proficiencies. So the first
Be
time you
screwed
drive a tractor,
or
you're not very
trouble.
good at it, and the more you drive it,
Mhm.
the better your proficiency level.
You can unfold now, Harv. I'm here.
Oh, good, because I'm almost full.
I can see that.
That's an excellent point, Rusty. An absolutely excellent point.
So much canola.
Maybe we need to consider, you know, for farm sim, other types of coastal farming, because there's also kelp and seaweed farms out there, and they're becoming
true.
more and more prominent all the time.
Well, actually, what I'd love is, in Farming 22, is more more crops, I guess, that are not kind of stuck to a field, like unique, kind of. If that makes sense.
Give us an example.
Like rice. Rice is not grown in a normal field. They're grown in like flooded kind of fields.
Yeah, there's a few maps that have incorporated rice paddies in flooded fields.
But I just kind of like think that'd be cool if in like in the base game.
Yeah,
Cranberries.
Cranberries, yep. You flood the field to harvest them.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
cranberry bogs.
I mean, you actually can harvest them normally, but it's a lot faster to harvest them the other way, and you damage them a lot less. So
I mean, I don't know how realistic necessarily it is to farming per se. I'm going to do a turn around here and follow this background. I don't know why I still have GPS on, because I don't need it right now. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot to be said for the productions. Because a lot of times, it brings a little bit of depth into the game if you're farming for a purpose and that's beyond just making money off of your crop. Oh, that's an excellent one too, Rusty. Base game orchards. Orchards would be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And some new equipment that come in to harvest.
Yeah, those, they're cool.
Yeah, have you ever seen those tree shakers?
They're
Oh, that would be amazing.
Were they for like the oats, or not oats, but the nuts?
Some nuts. I've seen them work on
They do it for
stone
oranges, I've
fruits
seen.
like plums and peaches and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've never seen them done for apples, but I think that's because apple trees are too like solid.
Probably. Yeah, I think apples stick to the vine or to the.
Not much the tree, but the actual tree itself is really solid. So you're going to like
Oh yeah,
you'll
getting it
damage
to
the tree
shake.
eventually.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The other like plums and all that are very thin trees.
Yeah, they would shake
They don't
much
grow very
easier.
big. Apple trees can become very big.
Taxes. No, we don't need taxes.
No, 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 no,
No.
We don't need that much reality.
no.
Um,
It's a simulator, not a. It's a game, not a simulator. What it
Although
is.
we've
No
got some
taxes.
people who might actually enjoy, having to fill out a tax form.
I like making the game difficult, and I don't like the taxes. No thanks.
there is one thing that would be nice if they would do. Make it so you don't have to own the BGA in order to use it.
Amen.
Yes. That is so. That's very annoying. Like, why would I own a BGA to sell to myself?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like you wouldn't.
That
You
has
wouldn't make
been
any
on my
money.
list of stupid game mechanics ever since I started playing.
Buy this place where you sell your goods to, so you make money.
You're a farmer, but you have to be a biogas executive in order to sell your fermented grass.
Hmm.
That was something I was talking to somebody else about recently. Rusty was that it would be in fact incredibly nice to have greenhouses where you could actually select what product is grown in them.
Ooh, ooh, like miniature like harvesting. Like actually have like harvesting tools that you go into the greenhouses with. That'd be cool.
Now, one of the YouTube channels that I watch is called Tantum Tech, and they're always doing, amazing farm machines like you've never seen before and stuff like that. Which it's a lot of stuff that we use in game every day, but it's still cool to see the real life version. But they do
Hmm.
some things that are pretty unique and interesting from time to time, and there are a lot of fruit pickers that are being developed that are robotic fruit pickers that have lasers that measure the ripeness of the fruit, and then little hands that will go in and pluck them off the vines.
Wow. One thing I was going to say that should be really nice would be irrigation.
Oh, if you had to maintain the moisture levels on the
Hmm.
on the on the fields,
I mean, I think that makes sense on some maps at least,
if they're
or like be able to be built into a map.
if they're gonna do something like that, they better give us some kind of sprayers.
Well, the base game sprayers should I think hold water and work too.
Although when there's a drought in the Midwest where we don't run irrigation systems like that, um, you don't see farmers out in their fields trying to spray water.
Well, because water's precious in a drought. We've never had a drought up here,
Well, I'm not I'm
Israeli.
not talking about drought. I mean, it's not like a drought is just a lack of rain.
Yeah.
But the thing is I don't think a farmer could literally without a serious irrigation system use a tanker truck, for example, to put enough water on the field to make it a viable choice.
I see. Well, I've seen quite a few, like a lot of sprayers, like I guess manure sprayers work, and also I've seen what I see up here a lot is for orchards, like our apple orchards. They have like these really tall towers that you can like turn on, and it's like a massive sprinkler for the fields.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're called pivots.
Yeah, for the orchards, which I think is really cool.
Oh, towers. Okay, yeah. But I've seen full-blown fields with pivots in them.
Oh, I've seen those too. Yeah, yeah. No, these are like just a tower. It's like an actual sprinkler on top of them.
Right.
They have like a little solar panel on top, I'm assuming to power them. I'm full. Wow. We're gonna be making a lot of diesel
I hope.
or biodiesel.
Job stealing tech. That's right. Well, I'm sure they're not cheap, Rusty, so I don't think they're going to be putting a lot of people out of work anytime soon.
Don't think so either. But I mean, I have heard one thing where people say if we like when farming becomes more automated, we'll be able to have like bigger fields, or not bigger fields, but like what's it called? Stackable fields like on top of each other, so we can get more food produced.
Well, I was reading a statistic the other day that says by 2050, the world population is going to go from 7 billion people to 9 billion people, meaning that farmers are going to have to double the amount of production that they do right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we've already like tripled or quadrupled our production in just like per area. So it might put a lot of people at work, but it'll also provide us a lot more food.
Unnecessary food so people don't starve to death.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard one thing I've really like I've kind of not looked into, but thought of is or heard of is sea can farms. So like all the whole farms, it's like a sea can. You can just like stack them on top of each other. I don't think they're sea cans. I think people just call them because like they stack so easily.
Yeah, containers.
So like
We,
yeah,
we call them containers here.
so like a lot of so, like restaurants could actually have like a bunch of these like out back or whatever. So like all the produce that they use could be harvested from there, saving up a lot of like space, or at least most of their products can be done from there. Yeah, it's like a pretty cool idea. Is what I've thought of, and they can also deploy them pretty much anywhere because they contain like they self-contain most of the water. Like they recycle, I guess, the water you could say. You still have, you do have to give them fertilizers though.
Alright, Is the gator still parked over here? Yes.
I don't know
there
where
it
the
is.
gator's at.
I'm gonna go grab the gator. I'm gonna run up to the mine and see just how our gold is doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to get a lot of diesel. I
Good.
would say around 80,000 liters,
Even
maybe a
better.
bit more. We're going to get a lot. It's very good.
I agree, Rusty. I think they should get over that as soon as I'm dead. Because I got to tell you, buddy, I'm one of those people. I can't wrap my head around eating a cricket burger.
No, actually, I have heard of that. Like compared to like a cow, like, it's like a cricket or something can hold like is like 2 to 1 pound or whatever for protein.
Yeah.
Where a cow's like 1 to 5.
Oh, I've heard these things.
So, which I mean, it makes sense, but I also don't like the idea of eating insects.
All right, guys, we're gonna check our gold. How much do you think we have?
1 pallet.
A pound and a half.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hmm. 2 pans, 20,000 liters of gold.
Ooh.
Hot dog.
That should give us quite a bit of money. What is gold currently going for?
Now, we have discovered one little factoid about these little pans of gold, and I will show you one up closer. But we do need to put them into a container because they are very easy to lose. And when I say lose, I mean permanently lose. But that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is 10,000 liters of gold. At least in game terms. So, we have 2 pans of gold. because we do not want them to fall through the map. We're putting them in these little pallet things.
I'll look up what gold prices currently are. Wow.
Oh God.
Royal Port sales. Sell for a lot.
Don't say
Coming from-
anything. I just about lost a pan of gold here.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh, really?
I realize, Harv, pulling it is better than pushing it.
I just started pulling it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just come to realize that in the game physics, like, backing up, it just seems to be a lot more stable than going forward. Oh, I see, you grabbed it through the thing.
Hey Kevin, we are having a good time. We just cranked out 2 pans of gold. Alright, and where am I going now?
Royal Port sales.
Royal Port Sales, which is all the way on the far side of the bloody map.
It sells good.
Oh God, it's all the way across the bay.
Oh, there's a bridge there, I believe. Yeah, there is a bridge, so...
Yeah, but I've got to get there in this, yeah, this is going to take a while, guys. This is going to be a bit of a long trip.
I can do it if you want to come over in a truck or something.
Royal Port sales, you have to
Take a
there is
ferry
not a bridge.
across.
You've got to take a ferry.
Yep.
Oh, do you for Royal Port sales?
Yes.
Oh, Royal Port sales.
Yeah,
I see.
it's by the shop.
No, okay, I was thinking of Southport sales. My bad.
Keep your fingers crossed that I get there in one piece. For those of you who at this point know Sharko's reputation for amazing driving, he has refused to haul gold. He said,
No,
I
I'm
am not
revoked, I'm not
driving the
allowed to.
gold.
Well, they didn't give me the keys.
We don't
to the,
trust you.
Exactly.
That's why I wasn't
Yeah.
going to let you drive our neighbor's expensive harvester.
Hey, I haven't flipped the grain trailer yet.
Oh, that's fair. That's a fair point. I give more credit to the grain trailer, though.
I've almost flipped it a few times, I'm going to be honest. I flipped my truck already once this time. Only once, though.
Why? Because of course you did.
Sharko, don't forget you need to return his.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, take care, Kevin. Thanks for dropping in, man. Really appreciate it. Now
I'll tell him it was very appreciated that he used it.
the question is, are our financial worries over? And
I hope so.
listen, we probably moved, I would say, 5 million liters of pay dirt to get these 20,000 liters of gold. And keep in mind, we still owe one more pan to our investors, but we don't have to pay them right away. So
I think it's in our best interest not to give one of those pans to them.
take care, Philly. Thanks a lot, bud. Have a good evening.
Well, they did say at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Caveman, you might want to head to John Deere.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to go pick stuff. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Now we're going to need that to prep our fields for the next planting.
Yeah, we will.
I was just thinking, we've got to get those fields ready to go again. And remembered we had bought that equipment and hadn't picked it up yet.
I'm on the way down there to go get it now.
So far, so good. I think taking this in the Gator is the smart move. You can't get so fast that you will lose your crap on the way.
Mm-hmm. I just looked into our diesel production, and yeah, we're going to get around 80,000 liters. At least what the machine's telling us.
How much do we have left in the wash plant?
I'll have to go back and check. But there's like around only like 10,000 liters left. Which I mean, it still is a lot, but when you process also a lot too, it can get
I was
gets
about to
low pretty
say
fast.
we've gone through 40,000 liters in the wash plant to produce 30,000 liters of gold ultimately, not counting what we used in the gold processor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But the gold processor doesn't use it as fast.
That's true. We probably haven't gone through very much there. Keeping the
Nowhere near
wash
much of the
plant
wash.
running, that's going to be the tough part.
Mm-hmm.
We want to start thinking about growing crops for ourselves too.
I think we need to ask everybody, what should we upgrade? What should we use if we make good money off this? And based on what Sharko's telling me, it sounds like we're going to make pretty good money on our gold. What should we upgrade? What kind of equipment should we get, guys?
Should we go for the excavator to make it faster? Should we go for a bigger harvester?
Or do we consider picking up a new industry to start working toward?
Definitely not enough money there quite yet, but definitely something to look into though.
Well, we obviously can't rely on using his harvester every time.
No, not
No,
at all.
we
We don't
can't.
want to take advantage of him or anything.
Right.
Yeah, we might have to consider some kind of upgrade of our own.
So, what I'm thinking is, do we get a bigger tractor, or do we get a bigger harvester?
Well, we have the dog. The dog is still a respectable size.
It is pretty powerful, yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're gonna get the full map tour this time, guys. If you're headed to John Deere caveman, you might catch me.
I can see you now.
I don't doubt it. Just let me know when you're coming, cause I have precious cargo, man.
Very precious cargo.
And I don't have a sticker on back that says baby on board.
Sticker, gold on board. Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't say that though.
That would probably be bad. I don't know. Are there like gold thieves? Am I gonna get waylaid on my way over here?
I mean, you're in a 4x4 or a side by side, or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
don't
everybody up here owns a 4x4.
I guess
Alright,
that's
we're coming
I
by
guess
you on the left.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you, Andrew. Andrew's definitely voting for the bigger harvester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think our seeder and planter are bad. I think they'll get us through for a while. I think we need a third field, though, to produce something besides canola and sunflowers.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit on food right now, going to the store, buying a bunch and bringing it back. It'd be nice to
Yeah.
make our own. And we have a bit of wheat still, but
I think we might need to think about something that's really sustaining, like potatoes.
ooh, fries, would be
Oh. Yeah.
fresh homemade fries.
Yeah. So, I'm just going in here to pick up those, the plow and the cultivator. That's it.
As far as I know, is there anything else we need?
I don't know. Do we have a way to spread fertilizer?
No, we do not.
We
I'll see
made-
what I can find while I'm down here.
Well, let's see what they offer for harvesters. So we also need a Actually, no, we do actually. I think we have a liquid sprayer. I think for fertilizer.
We do have a liquid sprayer that would spray fertilizer. If we want to convert to liquid instead of chemical.
Well, they're both chemical. One's just pallet and one's a liquid.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you understand what I mean.
Saying like we've got a ton of the
I said,
solid.
yeah, as I say, the liquid we have though is quite big too, but we do have quite a bit of solid still. I mean, let's take let's take a look at our field, see if there is on there.
I'm almost to the
Wait,
ferry.
Oh, interesting. So our sunflowers actually harvested full. Actually, it looks like.
Really, we didn't take a hit?
Oh, that's. So it looks like though, nitrogen. Sunflowers did not use a lot of nitrogen. They took the canola took a lot. So it actually looks like the
You're killing me, Sharko.
I'm looking on the thing and the canola used a lot of fertilizer.
Okay, our harvest on the sunflowers was still good,
Yes,
but it was telling us nitrogen was bad for sunflowers, so I'm kind of confused.
it was. The canola did actually worse. The canola did we only harvested around 90% of canola on half the field, and we did around 120% for the sunflowers.
That's probably because we fertilized after we planted.
I'm looking at it. It looks like it's the ground type. Silty clay is really bad.
Stupid silty clay.
It seems to like affect the nitrogen level is basically 0 on the canola field. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's actually gone up. But what was the nitrogen level in the sunflower seeds? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. So I was gonna say it either hasn't changed or it's gone up. The sunflowers, but the canola is just used a lot. So it definitely would be useful, I think, to switch them.
I'm almost there. I'm crossing the bay now. Or whatever you want to call this, bay, river.
But our lime has not changed, which is nice.
Good. Well, I mean, we
let's see
only
our
spread
fertilizer house.
33,000 liters of it.
Guys,
Yes, sir.
apparently I can get a spreader box to go on the back of the dump truck.
Really?
Yeah.
How
Solid
wide does it spread?
Yeah.
They don't know how far it's going to spread.
Oh, that doesn't do me any good. I mean, why would I spend money on a spreader box if it's only going to spread 1 meter wide? Sorry, thank you for playing.
I mean, we have a sprayer, so.
Yeah, but we have an awful lot of
do.
dry fertilizer.
Well,
We do too.
it's not gonna cost a lot.
We have to drive the dump truck all the way down there, don't we?
Well, even if it costs $1 and it only spreads 1 meter wide, it's not worth my dollar. If they can tell us how wide it spreads, perfect. If not, then I don't want it.
Well, they can't tell us because it's designed to spread salt, not fertilizer. That's what it's originally designed for, but they say it'll spread the fertilizer as well. They just don't know how far it'll spread the fertilizer because it weighs different than the salt.
What brand is the dump truck? Or the sprayer?
The spreader, it's Ford, like the dump truck.
I'm not very good with knowing which brands our vehicles are.
Ooh. I'd really like to find out why the sensitivity on all of my stuff is so low on this particular map. Robert was asking about the Susquehanna River Valley. Robert, I haven't played it. I have been on it. I did get on it to check it out for a little bit. It looks like a very, very, very nice map. I will tell you one thing. It's a little bit laggy. It's got some pretty low frame rates on it. Just because there's so much going on. And I'm sure the map maker is still working on the map to optimize it, because it did just come out not too long ago. But it does look like a very, very nice map.
Well, I told him we'll have to think about it. We'll have to think about it. Because they can't tell us anything. Maybe if they could tell us something, we'll get it.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
So,
Where in the heck am I taking this gold? Oh, there it is. Sort of. Oh, is it in this? That's it. Hey, Plubsy, how you doing, bud? I'm having fun on Ravensburg, I have to tell you. I don't play seasons much, but I'm having the opportunity to. Well, that's one pan sold for $250,000. 255,944. I'm gonna have to.
holy moly.
I'm gonna have to hand unload the other one to get it to sell. It looks like.
Woo!
If I can grab it. God bless.
The thing is, that money's probably gonna be gone pretty quick.
What's it going to be gone on?
New equipment.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose this frickin' pan. I don't know where it went. Getting it out of this thing is the biggest hassle of all time.
Please don't lose it. We need that money.
There it goes. It just
Oh,
sold.
there we go.
Another $250,000, 255. So we made over $500,000 on our gold. Woohoo!
All that hard work paid off.
All that
Finally.
hard work paid off. Finally. Oh gosh.
So, I guess now we can afford to get a bigger harvester.
Now we can afford to get a bigger harvester. And
You go all the way and buy the same size as that.
oh, don't
Our neighbor
forget,
has.
if we want to keep that Volvo, that's a $250,000 too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have some conversations about what we want to spend our cash on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see if you can buy a used harvester somewhere. See if you can get the price lower.
Well, the John Deere dealer said they do have the used one coming in on a trade here shortly, so. Don't know what it is yet, but they do know they have one coming in.
Maybe you should wait and see what they have there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because that Volvo is very nice, so. Kinda nice if you could have two bigger equipment instead of just one. Even if it needs a little bit of repairs, I think it makes sense.
I just managed to get the barge stuck.
How did you get the...
Because of this stupid ramp over here.
Oh, I see. You drove it up on the ramp.
There you go, Robert. That's right. Drop everything and head to Vegas. That's what I want to do. Oh,
Yep.
I managed somehow to miraculously pull it away from it. Oh.
Just declare bankruptcy on to our providers or whatever. People who gave us the money for the mine.
Okay, Sharko
No.
can't drive vehicles. Harv can't drive the barge.
Harv also can't operate two machines because apparently doesn't have the controls.
I don't understand that at all. Like anywhere else, any other time. I was actually loading logs today and being extremely successful at it.
You're learning.
Well, to be fair, Harv, I have a hard time on this map too with using mouse controls, but if I use a controller, they're fine.
That's I only use controllers when it comes to those things. I can't stand mouse and keyboard when it comes to operating things.
And
So.
I can't stand a controller.
I wonder
Nothing
why I'm
against
so good at
controller
loading
people,
logs.
just. Yeah, okay, that's what we need fixed in FS22.
Yes.
You know, I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, and I mean, we all want the game when we want the game, but we were, comparing Giants to Rockstar. Now, financially, they're two completely different companies. Rockstar is on a whole other level. That just is a fact of life. But, Rockstar makes their games for console and then they port them to PC. But they don't just port them to PC, they completely rework them so that they maximize what PCs are capable of. You don't get the same game for console. I mean, you do storyline wise and basic performance wise and all of that, but it's
The
not the same
detail is
game
different.
on console as it is on PC. And this person was arguing that, because Giants is catering to consoles, that it's restricting what we have access to as PC players because we're not getting as high quality and as broad a scope as we could be getting. But unfortunately, Giants is not in the position of Rockstar. They have a very niche market, a much smaller market.
They only have a small team too.
So
Relative to
it's
This is true.
kind of almost comparing apples to oranges, but
And also, the games that Rockstar makes are AAA games. Farming Sim is not a AAA game.
that's what I'm talking about. You can't really compare the two companies.
It's like comparing a AAA movie or whatever that's made by like Disney to like a small company. They're completely different companies.
But the point is, I think, really, that, even though it's not AAA, could something be done to balance that out a little bit better?
Yes, it could be. It's just a matter of them taking the time to figure out how to do it with their budget.
I also don't think though that it is necessarily catered to PCs because consoles do also have multiple cores, and Farming Sim on console and computers only uses one core. So if it was catered to consoles, it'd be more designed for like 2 cores or something instead of just a single core. Just gonna do it to computer terms, but
Oh, but they're already talking about the fact that FS22 is going to push the limits of
yeah, it seems like
previous gen consoles.
hmm Like the new game, which is apparently gonna have way more stuff, will even increase the slot count for consoles, even on old gen.
Yeah.
So even like they basically just said right there, our old game wasn't optimized. Just right here because, like I said, they don't necessarily have the biggest budget, so Giants really only makes Farming Sim. That's about it. Yeah, I think that's all Giants make.
No,
Have they made another game before?
they have. Was it Construction Simulator? I think it is.
I think they did do that one, but that was an old one though, wasn't it? Like,
They've got like one or two other games.
I was gonna say the Farming Sim is probably their biggest in
Yep.
definitely profit.
Are you already back at the farm, caveman?
Yes, I'm already back at the farm.
Okay. Excellent. Well, look at that. We actually succeeded. We got the money coming in, although you saw, I mean, you guys only saw a small portion at the beginning of the stream of how much work we had to do to bring in $500,000, which means, that's several hours of work, literally in-game hours of work to bring in that amount of gold. So keep that in mind. We have a lot more ahead of us. We're going to have to find ways to move that process along a little bit. Be that as it may, we are on the plus side of things for a change.
We're sitting on our own money, not owing anyone really anything. I mean, I guess the one pan. But...
Well, that was, that one pan was $250,000, and we're going to give that up to them at some point, so.
As much as it's a downside, without that starting cash, it'd be a lot harder. Because we trying to lug the fuel up here ourselves with a tiny tank would not work.
See, that's the kind of setup I really want, Rusty. I'd love to have a side panel and wheel, but that is not in the cards for me for quite some time, actually. But with all of that said, with all of that done, our fields are harvested. We've just made good profit on some gold. Woohoo! I have a long frickin' drive back to the farm. But we are just about at the witching hour, so this is probably a good time to say thank you everybody so much for dropping in, supporting Harvest World, supporting the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Not one of our liveliest, but we did accomplish a lot, and it's always good talking to you guys. Any final thoughts, Caveman, Charco?
Not really.
Nope.
Alrighty then. How does success feel?
Incredible.
Pretty good.
Success. It's incredible. It's pretty good.
We're speechless from all the money we've made on gold.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Again, we appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.